Okay, so we are starting with this question. Right, there's a couple of ways this question can be done. So the first way, to be honest, it's saying work out the area of the triangle. You read through the question, of course. You could kind of go, you could add all of this and then equal to 72, and then you could do it like that. So you could add this, that's equal to 72 and work out the x. Or actually, because they kind of said these are isosceles triangle because of the lines, that automatically means 2x plus 11 is equals to 4x minus 4. Subtract 2x, which is the smallest number of x. Yeah, because 2x or 4x, which is the smallest one? 2x. So subtract that. 11 equals, what's that? 2x minus 4. How to cancel minus 4 at 4s? That makes that 15 equals 2x. X is basically 7.5. So if x is 7.5, I can input it over here. 2 times 7.5 is 15. 2 times 7.5 is 15. That 5 is 20 then. That one is a 20. Then 4 times 7.5, that's a 30, I think. Yeah, 30 minus 4 is 26. So that's 26. And because remember, it's an isosceles triangle, so I know that that's also 26 then. They want the area of triangle. Area of triangle, you would do base times height divided by 2. You already know the base. 20 times, what's the height? That's the base. So you split the triangle in the middle. There you go. Now it's no more 20 anymore, it's a 10. That's a 26. I can work out the height, Pythagoras. As the shorter side, remember, h is equal to square root of 26 squared, take away 10 squared. That is going to give you, what's that? That basically gives you 24. Times it by the height 24 divided by 2. 2 can divide the 20 to make it 10, which will give you 240 centimeters squared. That's your area. Simple. Next one. You want the value of k, so you can actually divide it, isn't it? You will take this and divide it over here. So basically k is equals to 1.25 times 10 to the minus 12 divided by 4 times 10 to the minus 20. Plug it through a calculator. This is actually from a calculator paper anyway. So 1.25 times 10 to the power minus 12 over 4 times 10 to the power minus 20, which gives you 31,250,000. And then you want the answer as a standard form, so 3.125 times 10 to the power, if I put a decimal point here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 to the 7. That's the value for k. Okay. Next one. Show that ABCD is not a square. Okay, it's a 9-sided polygon. Okay, I'm not going to sit and count. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, it is 9. That's right. What is the formula? N minus 2 times 180. That's the total interior angle, remember. N is 9 minus 2 times it by 180. That will give you, what's that? 9 minus 2 is 7. 7 times 180. That gives you 1,260. But then 1,260 divided by 9-sided shape, remember, which will give you each angle to be 140. Got it? So you know that this angle is 140, and remember this is also a 9-sided shape, so it's a 140 as well. So around a point, the total angle around a point is 360. Take away 140, take away the 140. That should give you 80. So this angle is 80, but it's not a square. Remember why? Because a square is how many degrees? Each angle is 90 degrees, not 80. Okay, simple. Next one. Work out the mass of the cylinder equal to, the mass of the cylinder equal to mass of cube. Yeah, why not? Work out the value of h to 1 decimal place. Okay. What is the formula for volume? Because remember, you want to do the mass, because they told you mass is the same. Okay, so what's the formula of mass? Mass is density times volume. What is the volume of a cylinder? It's pi r squared h. So what is the volume of this cylinder? Volume equals to pi times r is 3. That's your radius, 3 square, times by the height. The height is 8 anyways. That will give you 9 times 8 is 72 pi. I'm just going to leave it like that. Okay. Then what is the volume of the cylinder? The cylinder is 72 pi. And what is the mass of the cylinder? Mass is density times volume. Mass is, what the density is? Density of the cylinder is 7.86 times by the volume of the cylinder. We just worked out 72 pi. So 7.86 times 72 pi, which will give you, I'm going to do 2 decimal places. I know the answer, they want 1 at the final answer, but I will do in the middle, I will do 2 dp at least. So that gives you 1777.89. Okay. On the next one, what do they say? That's equal to the mass of the cylinder, which is what we worked out, is equal to the mass of the cube. Yeah, cool. Mass is density times volume. What is the mass of the cube? Is technically the same thing, isn't it? 1777.89 equal to, what is the density of that? 8.5. What's the volume of the cube? Oh, it's a cube, so h times h times h, which is a h cubed. H cubed. So what is h cubed is? 1777.89 divided by, what's the answer? 8.5. There you go. Take the cube root it, and h is equal to divided by 8.5. Answer to 1 decimal place is 5.9. 5.9 would be the height. Simple and straightforward. Okay, next one. The next one, question number 5. Nadia says it's y is directly proportional to x. Are we sure? Let's see. Let's check. Directly means k times x. Kx, yeah. Don't worry about what she says here. I'm just going to look at the numbers through. Okay, let's pick these numbers then, shall we? Y is 0 equals to k times x. X is what? 2. What is k is? Divided by 2 now. K is 0 then. Okay. Let's check it on this number then. Y equals to the k times x. Remember, that's the formula. I have no idea what the k is, so I'm not going to use that. What is the value of y in that case? Is 4. Because k is times, what is the x is also 4. K is 4 divided by 4 is just 1. It can't be, because she correct, of course she's not, because k will give you different answers, and this is your reason, of course. Okay, or you can try the next one, but to be honest, it's just waste. Okay, just try to, and if the k is not the same, it's not correct. Y is directly proportional to square root of t. Square root of, just remember it's a square root. W equals to k times square root of t. Okay, what's W is 140. K times square root of t, which is 64. What is square root of t is? 8. What is k is? 140 divided by 8, which can be simplified by, which is what, 70 over, divided by 2 is 70 over 4, divided by 2 is 35 over 2. So W equals 35 over 2 times square root of t. W equals 35 over 2. Square root of t is 7.84. Okay, I'll just plug it through a calculator anyways. 35 over 2 is 17.5 anyways, times it by square root of 7.84. That's just 49 then. Nice. Whole number. That's the answer. Good. This would be your iteration topics. You could tell from here. We don't know what k is, so we're going to find out. They gave you u1 and u2, so you will start with u2 probably. Because if you start with u1, then you have to go u0. You don't need to do that. u2 equals to, there you go, u2 equals to k, previous term, remember, u1 plus k. We know the numbers. u2 is 4 equals k times, what is u1 is? 9 plus k. That's a 9k plus k. That 4 equals to how many k? Then that's basically 10k. K gives you 4 divided by 10 is 0.4. Let's rewrite the equation now. Un plus 1 equals k is 0.4, un plus 0.4. I'm just rewriting this equation basically here. You want u4. Okay, So I already know u1, u2, u3, u4. u1 is 9, u4 is that. Okay, what I'm going to do is type in my calculator 9 and I press equal sign. Then I go 0.4 bracket answer key plus 0.4 and I press equal sign. That's a 4. There, that's how I get my u2. And press again, that's 2, which is my u3. Press again, that's a 1.2. And that's the u4. Simple. Okay, iteration, just use your calculator. Very good. Histogram. Remember, any histogram, if they gave you the histogram, always work out the area, which basically is your frequency. Okay, so there are 11 teachers between 0 and 5. Oh, they could tell, but I know this is 5. So 0 and 5, so that's 5 times, how much is that? 2.2, isn't it, this one? Which is 11. No idea why they said that. We can still work it out. Anyways, they said it. There's no one greater than 50. I can't find anything greater than 50, so no point on that one. Number of teachers travel between 5 and 10 miles is same thing as 20 and 30 miles. Okay, cool, why not? There are 60 teachers in total. Let's try this now. 10 to 20, how much is that? 10 times it by how far does it go? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1.5, which makes it 15. I'll circle the numbers, I know. This one is 30 to 50. What's that? 20 times, what's that? 0.3, I think it goes up to, isn't it? Which makes it 6. So what's the total then? 11, 15, and 6. That is going to give you 32. But remember, you should have a total of 60. So 60 take away that 32. That will give you 28. However, the area between here, the area between this one and this one is the same, because they said 5 to 10 is the same as 20 to 30. So the 28, I'm going to split it. 28 divided by 2, that makes it 14. So the area on here must be what number? 14. 14 divided by, I don't know the height, I know the width, which is 20 to 30 is 10, which should give you 1.4. That's just it. You draw up to 1.4, which is here. I'm not going to sit and shade these. Okay, you don't have to shade them. This one is also 14. Remember, 14 divided by, I know the width is actually 5 to 10 is a 5. And that's what, 2.8. You go up to 2.8. And now you have completed the histogram. Simple. Next one. Right. Upper bound, lower bound. Remember, you know the upper bounds on this, which is 2.55, 2.45. Upper bound is 9.85, 9.75. Upper bound. Because it's nearest 5, what do? You divide the 5 by 2. What do you get? 5 divided by 2 is 2.5. You will add a 2.5 onto the 435, which is 437.5. Then take away a 2.5 from the 435, which is 432.5. By considering bounds, suitable degree of accuracy, okay, why not? Remember, there are two operations. There is a division and there is a subtraction here. Okay, in here there's a division and subtraction, so we got to be very careful. So if you want upper bound in a division, is you do upper divides lower. However, because there is a takeaway, how to get a when you take away, how do you get a lower bound? You do. How do you get a lower bound when you take away? You do a lower take away upper bound. That will give you a lower bound. Would it? Okay, I'm just thinking. No, because it's a takeaway. Remember, you would do so. You want a lower bound on the takeaway, so it's the opposite. So lower takeaway upper. Yeah, sure. Okay. All right. So let's do this one. What is the t, and we want an upper bound for the t. Upper bound. You want an upper bound for t. Okay, so the upper bound of t, so which is upper, which is of w, then which is 437.5 divided by lower takeaway upper. You want a lower takeaway upper. What the lower of a is? Lower of a is 9.75. Takeaway upper 2.55. What is that going to give you? 437.5 over 9.75, take away 2.55. That gives you 60.763 88889. Okay. Then you want a lower bound of t. So you do the opposite of whatever we done exactly. So 432.5, take away, you want an upper bound, so it's a upper take away, lower. So upper is 9.85, take away, lower is 2.45. 432.5 over 9.85, 2.45, which gives you 58.44594595. Okay. And I'm just going to do the coordinates for the upper bound and lower bound. So this is your upper bound and lower bound. Let's say one significant figure. If you do the upper bound, 60 to one significant figure is 60. 58 to one significant figure is also 60. That's fine. Two significant figure, 60.7 actually becomes 61. 58.4 will become still 60. That's wrong. So it is correct. So we'll stop now, isn't it? Correct to 60 for how many significant figure? One significant figure it should be. Okay, it will give you 60, correct to one significant figure. The next one. Okay, so we are continuing from question number 9. Okay, so right, PQR is a right angle, and work out the value of Q. So now if PQR is a right angle, so technically it's more like a right angle triangle. Let's just say something like that, and then the right angle is here, and PQR is a right angle, so let's call it PQR. There you go. That means PQR is right angle. Now they want the value of what, K. Okay, so since they want the value of K, so what you could say in here is that the gradient between P and Q is perpendicular to the gradient between Q and R. Okay, so we want P and Q gradient, so MS, so that's P and Q. So you do change in Y over change in X, minus 6 minus 5 over 6 minus 4. That will make it minus 11 over, that makes it a 10. So that's minus 11 over 10. I can't simplify that. Okay, PQ, that's a gradient. So, and what's the gradient is minus 11 over 10. What is the gradient of QR? Q to R. So QR gradient, it's K plus 3 minus, what number? Minus 6 over K minus 6. Now, this one is an add, so that's K plus 9 over K minus 6. Now, if you think about it, these two gradients, so this is a K plus 9 over K minus 6, are both perpendicular because of the right angle. So I don't want to switch this gradient. I might just switch this. So how do we do the perpendicular one? So let's say K plus 9 over K minus 6 equal to, I switch this fraction around and I change the sign. So it's not going to be negative anymore like this. It's going to be a positive, okay? Not 11 over 10, 10 over 11. And then I just have to solve it. Cross multiply it. That will give you 11K. 11K plus 99 equals to 10K minus 60. Bring the 10K outside here. Take it away. 11K minus 10K is K equals to minus 60 plus 99. That's just going to give you what? 39. And your answer is K is 39. Okay. Straightforward. Question number, what is it now? 10. This would be capture and recapture topic, and you should know the formula. The formula for capture recapture would be a tag over population. Right. On the first time, she caught 40 of them, and she's going to tag all the 40 of them. So how much she tagged is 40 out of the full population, which is what you always have to find out in this kind of questions. They want the total number of frogs. There you go. They want the population. On the second time she does, she catch 55, but 11 of them were tagged. So it's 11 were tagged out of the total population she caught, which is 55. Make sense? Remember, it's a tag over population. Then just cross multiply it. 40 times 55 equals 11p. P is just whatever that, 40 times 55 over 11. You can plug it down a calculator. P is 11 can divide the 55, makes it 5. 40 times 5 is 200. There you go. So the whole population is 200. Now, one assumption that you have made. Well, because it's a tag, you would assume none of the tag fell off. Okay. Now, if it was a die, then you say none of the die got erased. And then because it's to do the population, you could also say no new frogs were born or died. No, not new frogs. But no frogs were born, new frogs were born, or no the frogs died within that particular region. Okay, and this would give you either one of those. Okay, memorize both of them like that. All right, next one. Changing subject of the formula, very typical question. This is a bracket, so just multiply it. T equals to 4p minus 6 over 5 minus 2p. Take this, multiply it over here. 5t minus 2pt equals to 4p minus 6. You want to remember, you want to make the p the subject, so the p is here. So since you want to make it be the subject, just keep it on this side. Just minus 2pt, we can keep in minus 2pt, bring it in minus 4p equals to what's left here, minus 6. There's a positive 5t, goes to the other side, minus 5t. In here, on the left hand side, make the take the p common. P bracket minus 2t minus 4 equals to minus 6 minus 5t. Okay, and p is equal to minus 6 minus 5t over minus 2t minus 4, because you divide by it. Some people might also get an answer saying p equals to 6 plus 5t. The order is not a problem, don't worry, you can write 5t plus 6, it's the same thing, over 2t plus 4. It's exactly the same thing. Okay, this is the same as this, because you just basically multiply the top and bottom by negative 1. Okay, so both answers are fine. When I do it, I always do it like this and I get that answer. Okay, anyways, question number 12. Compound interest, end of 3 years. Okay, let's start with the part A. So deposit 4,500, bracket 2.4, so 1.024, that is to the power first year 1, and then 1.018 to the power extra years, but you want to go up to 3 years. 1 year is already gone here, so 2 more years to make it 3. Then your answer should be, let's see, 4,500 1 point. Answer to 2 decimal places, 4,775.38. Okay, 2 decimal places because money calculation. Okay, part B, always learn to do it in 1 line. Don't bother doing it in 2 lines. Okay, it's just a waste of lines and time at that point, isn't it? Next one, 7,500. That's your deposit. Bracket. We don't know the interest. I'm just going to call it x, but okay, to the power 2 equals to 4,107. Well, what is x squared is? Just say 4,107 divided by 7,500. Realistically, I want the x, so the square becomes square root on this side, right? So 4,107. Remember, you have to do it to 3 decimal places minimum. Some people might do 4, but normally 3 decimal places is more than enough. But in this question, you're not going to do it to 3 decimal places because I think the answer is kind of 2 decimal places, which is 0.74. Now that is not the x, so what you have to do is you have to always take away 1, which will give you, it's a minus 0.26, and always times it by 100, which is technically, don't worry about the minus, it's actually 26%. So how much was the x percent that decreased? It's 26% every single year. Make sense? Next one. Work out the area of triangle ABC. Okay, so if you look at it, the formula for area of a triangle is a half AB sine C. I'm going to figure out a side. So let's say this is my angle A, and because I have three sides, it's a cosine rule. Very simple as that. And this will be my, sorry, that's my angle A, and that's my side A. There you go. Make sense? That's my angle A, and then my side A. Okay, you could choose whichever, but let's just do it like this. Okay, you know what? Because then you might sometimes think, because this is A, I'm just choosing that, to be honest. You might think that, okay, you know what? Change of plan. Let's call this A. So that's a leeway. You can choose whichever you want to do. Okay, I'm just going to do it like this. Okay, and then B and C could be anything. Just let's call B and C. Then what's the formula for angle? Remember, you must memorize this formula. Cos A equals B squared plus C squared minus A squared divided by 2BC. Cos of A equals to B squared. Let's see, 14.6 squared plus C is 18.2 squared minus A is 7.9 squared, all divided by 2 bracket B is 14.6 bracket C is 18.2. Because of A, you will more likely to have a fraction on there. Let's see, 14.6 squared plus 18.2 squared, take away 7.9 squared, okay, over okay, well, on this calculator, I'm not really getting a fraction. Normally, you should get a fraction. If you get a fraction, please do write the fraction, okay? You get some answer as a fraction. I'm just going to do the decimal because this calculator only gives me decimal. 0.695. If you're going to write a decimal, just better off writing like 5 decimal places at that point, okay? Then A is just a cos inverse of whatever this is. And I will always kind of be like cos inverse of my answer key, right? Okay, it's on okay, so cos inverse of that's going to give you the angle. I'm just going to do the answer to 2 decimal places, remember. 24.91 degrees. Cool. Then remember that angle, I'm just going to erase these. I don't need this now. And that angle was 24.91. Okay, and I want the area. So area is a half AB, your A and B. Considering this is your angle, A and B must be these two, remember. It's not the same letters as you used before. Once you use a letter, that's it, is gone after that calculation. Then the next calculation is different letters, okay? A and B should be what? 14.6 and B is 18.2. And sine, remember half AB sine C, right? 24.91. And the answer is it's to a 3 significant figure. So basically the answer in my calculator, of course, is 55.95985. 3 significant figure. 1, 2, 3. And you look at this one, round up. So it's 56.0 centimeter squared. That's the answer. Okay, straightforward. Next one. Okay, velocity time graph. Work out the distance for the distance traveled by the aeroplane in the first 30 seconds. Easy question. Straightforward, as always. So, how many strips? 3 strips for the 30 seconds. So there's 30. If you want to put it as a 3 strip in 30 seconds, that goes every 10 seconds, isn't it? 30 divided by 3. So that's 1. That's a 2. That's 3. And I'm just going to read these numbers and then write them down. So that's 40, 42, 44, 46, 48, 50, 52, 54. That's 80, so 80, 78, 76. And that's 80, it's about 90 somewhere. So 80, 82, 84, 86, 88, 90, that's a 92 actually. Okay, so you want these three areas, 1, 2, 3, these are three areas, right? Remember, distance is the area. Okay, so the first one is a triangle always. What's the base? The base is from here to here, which is 10, and that's always going to be the base, or you can call it the height, whichever is the way. Okay, let's call it the height actually. Okay, that's always going to be the height at that point. It's 54 times 10 divided by 2. Base is 10, of course. And that's just going to give you 270. The second one is a trapezium. So you add the parallel lines. The parallel lines are these two are the parallel lines for that. So that's 54 add 76 times by the height. The height is still going to be 10 anyways, divided by 2. And that's just going to give you, what's that? 650, isn't it? Meters, yeah. Then the third one, I'm just labeling the numbers so it's easier for you to follow it. The parallel lines are this and this. That's 76 plus 92 times by the height. The height is 210 divided by 2. $840. And you want the, remember, total distance traveled. Yeah, that's what they say. Always total distance. 270 add 650 add 840, which will give you 1,760 meters in total. Now you have to get this exact answer as it is. Okay, no more, no less. Good.